We are live. What's up, my friend? Abby here, and welcome to another Write With Me live stream. I'm so glad you guys are here. Type in the chat and tell me if you can see me and hear me okay. I have to know that my audio and my video is coming through clear. Thank you guys so much for being here. Welcome to another Write With Me live stream. I can't believe it is already February. It feels like time is going by so quickly this year. But we're making a lot of progress on our writing projects. And that's what these live streams are all about, making progress, showing up for ourselves, and dedicating time to creativity. So I'm so glad you're here. So wonderful to see all of your smiling faces in the chat. Looks like you guys can see me and hear me. Wonderful, awesome, fantastic. So if this is your first time at one of these Write With Me live streams, welcome. The way they are structured is we do writing sprints for 25 minutes on and 5-minute breaks in between to chat about our stories. Usually I go over 5 minutes because I talk to you guys and answer some questions that come in on the live. And it's super fun, super chill, super fun. So if you are hoping to get some writing done, that's what these sessions are for. They're for motivation, accountability, but most importantly, just taking the time to dedicate to your art. So that's what it's all about. So you're in the right place. Welcome. And tell me where you're tuning in from. Type in the chat, tell me where you are and what you're working on today. Maybe you're working on a novel or a short story or a screenplay. I'd love to hear about it. I'm going to be working on the actually final revisions for my Lighthouse book. So you guys have heard me talk about this Lighthouse book a lot, and I'm going to be publishing it this year. So excited for that. But it's been a long road of revisions so far. And the other day, I actually reached the end of the book in this passive revisions. It was so exciting, such an exciting moment, but it's not fully done because I have a few more things to do today on the book. And those things are basically rewriting a couple of scenes. They're very small scenes, but I've been making note of as I go through. There's been a few moments where I'm like, I need to rewrite this. So I just kind of made a note and left it. And so there's like 3 or 4 cases of that throughout the book. So I need to go back to those 3 or 4 places and add a little bit more. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. That's my focus for this writing session. And hopefully by the end of the writing session, I will have accomplished my goal. And this round of revisions will be done. It'll be so exciting. Okay, I'm excited, but I'm gonna try to focus. Okay, everyone can see me and hear me. Wonderful. Y'all are telling me where you're tuning in from. I can't wait to read the Lighthouse book. I can't wait to share it with you guys. Let's see, Indiana, Nebraska, Wisconsin, Switzerland, Minnesota, Toronto, Mexico, Denmark, England, Canada, Florida. Awesome. Welcome, everybody. Writers from all over the world join these live streams, and it's so exciting. It's so amazing to connect with all of you and to be here writing our novels together, writing together. It's just so incredible to be able to do this as like a community, not just as a individual. And I know that writing can be kind of a lonely art sometimes. So it's really amazing to be able to connect with you guys and kind of make it more of a community effort in a way. So I'm super grateful for that. And I'm grateful for your presence here on this live stream. Okay, we're going to get started in just a few minutes. But first, there's something I wanted to mention. And it's this beautiful little candle here. Look, watch this. It's not an ordinary candle. It is a mystical writing candle. Look at that. I'm trying to tip it so that you can see. There's crystals and different like herbs and lavender and sage and like so much cool stuff in this candle. And these candles are handmade by my sister, Kate. So some of you guys have definitely seen our podcast together, Kate and Abby Show. And you might know that Kate has an amazing YouTube channel and she makes amazing videos with such beautiful visuals and audio, and just like it's a whole immersive experience just to watch her channel. But she also has an Etsy shop, and she makes these beautiful candles and all sorts of amazing like bohemian kind of mystical writing style stuff that I think you guys will really love. The link to her shop is in the description box below this video, so definitely check it out. This is one of the candles that she has for sale. I believe this is one called Writing or Creative Sesh. I think this is the Creative Sesh one, but I could be wrong about that. But they're all different. They all have different scents. Some have like lavender, frankincense, some have amethyst crystals and rose quartz. And it's just such a cool, it's very unique. Like you can go to stores and buy candles that are kind of generic, but these candles are all made with essential oils, and they're just so special and unique. Also because they're made by my sister Kate. So go show her some love. Click the link below this video to go to her Etsy shop. She has all kinds of amazing stuff over there. So I don't have any matches on me right now, so I'm not actually gonna light this candle. It's just for the aesthetic. We're gonna place it there as a reminder to go get yourself one. Okay, so I'm going to set up my timer and we're gonna get into our first writing sprint. Let's see, I'm actually gonna be writing in Notion today. I've started using Notion for many things. I haven't really started using it for fiction writing, but it syncs like so much better than Scrivener sometimes. It's just like right there. I mean, it's very quick how it syncs between devices. So that's what I'm doing today, because I just have a few isolated scenes that I'm working on. So I'm just gonna work within Notion today. Keep it simple. If anyone else uses Notion, tell me in the chat, because I've started to fall in love with it. It's so great. Okay, let's get started. I'm gonna start our timers. Let me turn up my screen a little bit so y'all can see that. I'm gonna start this timer, and feel free to start your own timers or just follow mine. I will try to set it up so that it actually makes a chiming sound when the time is up. I don't always accomplish this, but I try. Let's see. Oh, super chat just came in. Thank you so much for this super chat. I'm probably gonna mispronounce your name, but I will try. Jatin. Thank you so much for the super chat. You said a 17-year-old from India working on a mafia whodunit for the last 2 years. They've just completed the outlining. Now I just started writing the prologue. Wow, amazing progress. Congratulations. You should be so proud of yourself for sticking with this project. Awesome. So let's get started. Thank you guys so much for all of the super chats that you send on these live streams. It means so much to me, and it really just helps support my channel, helps me to continue what I'm doing here. So I'm always so grateful for the super chats. Okay, let's get started. 25 minutes on the clock. We're gonna go into our first writing sprint, and then we'll have a break, and then we will chat about writing for a small break, and then get into our second sprint. Let's go. Rocket decided that our time was up 30 minutes before it was up. Oh my goodness. Y'all heard him erupt into barking. Yeah, okay. Session 1 is done. Sprint number 1 is finished. How did it go? Tell me in the chat. It went by really fast, I agree. It was productive though. I pretty much finished adding this scene, the first add-in scene, which was pretty short. I mean, let's see. How many words was it actually? You can share your word count if you feel compelled to do so. Let's see how many words that actually was. Let's see if this tells me. I don't think it does tell me. I'm still learning how to use Notion here. You can't like count a selection? Come on. If anyone knows how to see the word count of a highlighted selection in Notion, I'd say it was probably 400 words or so. Looks like you guys had a good sprint. Awesome, awesome. So many words being written, so fantastic. Okay. Awesome. Congratulations, guys. You focused, you stayed with it. I'm so proud of you. We're going to go into our second sprint in just a moment, but first we're going to have a small break and going to chat about our stories. And I will answer some questions that pop up in the chat randomly. Okay, let's see. I was thinking that I have probably like 2 or 3 sentences left to make this scene complete. So hopefully in the next sprint I can move on to the next one. Let's see. Barrett High School asked how to write a dream in the first chapter without it being cliche. Can the dream or nightmare be connected to the main character's fear? I just got a question like this for Ask Abby, which is going up next week. But the answer is yes. You can absolutely have a dream in the first chapter. I know it's kind of a no-no in a lot of writing advice, and even in my own writing advice, I have a video called things that you shouldn't do in the first chapter or something, like mistakes that new writers make in the first chapter, and one is main character waking up from a dream. But it can be done well, and like you said, it's done well when it's attached to the main character's fear or something that's going to matter in the story itself. So it has to have a direct connection. It has to matter to the main conflict of the story. And I actually did this in 100 Days of Sunlight. So if you read 100 Days of Sunlight, you know what I'm talking about. But the book opens with my main character, Tessa, waking up from a recurring nightmare about this car accident that she was involved in, which rendered her blind for 100 days. Now that's the whole premise of the book. So it's very important to understanding the story. And I kind of used that dream sequence as exposition in a way to show what happened in the past without going all the way back to the past and then showing everything in timeline order of how it occurred, because I wanted to give you a quick understanding of what's happened in the past, how has that shaped the present, and without having to like go into thousands of words of backstory. So you can definitely use dream sequences as a tool to leverage internal conflict. I'm gonna shut this shutter so it's not blinding me. So yeah, that's that would be my answer. Like, use it to leverage internal conflict and you're good to go. Let's see. Can you give some tips for the climax of the story? I have a whole video on writing the climax. You should definitely watch it. you type in Abby Emmons climax, it will pop right up. One of my favorite videos, actually. I love the editing in that video, but basically with any climax that you're writing, you want to make sure that you are really connecting the events of what's happening, the external conflict, to the main character's deepest fear and misbelief. And that should really be the centerpiece of the climax, not so much the big dramatic action of what's externally happening, but why it specifically matters to this character for this reason. Like, it should be exciting and perilous for everyone, yeah, but why is it especially perilous and exciting and dangerous or high stakes because of who this person is? That would be like my number one most important tip for writing the climax. And if you can do that, then you will have your reader just gripped, so engaged. Let's see. Andy wants to know, when do you think you're going to publish your next book? Well, I'm working on it. I'm working on that book right now, and I have not released like specific dates or anything yet because I want to make sure that I have planned my timeline properly and given myself enough time, because the indie publishing process involves a lot. But I'm aiming for late summer. We'll see what happens, but I'm very excited to share this book. And regardless, it's gonna happen this year, no matter what. so there's that for sure. I can for sure say that. So yeah, get excited. It's coming soon. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna answer a few more questions, and then we're gonna get into our next sprint. Let's see. Falcon1 asked, first person or third person? I've been stuck in between for the past month, and now I have no clue where to go from here. I would go with whatever tense you personally like the most. Like, honestly, like, what do you like reading the most? That's kind of the biggest tell for me. Like, I personally love reading first person. That's my favorite perspective, I guess it's called, not a tense, Abby. It's perspective. First person perspective is my personal favorite because I feel like I can really immerse in the character and see things from their point of view. It's especially good if the author has taken some time to really develop the character's voice so that it feels like we are this person. That to me is the most magical part of storytelling. But a third person can be done well as well. I find, just personally, it's a preference thing that when I'm reading third person, I'm mentally changing it to first person as I'm reading. And every time I do that, I'm like, oh, I wish this was written in first person. But that's just me. So it's a preference thing. And there's a lot of books out there that are both types of perspectives. So you should go with whatever you personally love the most, because your art should be an expression of what you love. And that's the most important thing. I know a lot of you guys come for the typing ASMR, and I saw someone say that earlier, but I apologize that there's also some lawnmower ASMR happening today. That's just how Wednesdays go usually here. So hopefully that's not too annoying. Okay, 2 more questions. This is an interesting question. This is from Michaela. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. Any tips on how to make readers care about a character that doesn't feel any emotions in the beginning? In his arc, he'll begin realizing what a horrible person he is and starting to change. Okay, so you have like an apathetic character who doesn't feel a lot. But I would argue that it's just a different type of emotion that's going on, because he obviously has a lot of internal conflict, right? If you have this character who's going from horrible to having a better realization and having a realization of how he needs to change, that is a very complex character to write. So I would invite you to tap into what are the deeper underlying emotions that he's not allowing himself to feel. because that's kind of what it is. Because we all have emotions, right? We all have feelings. We can't exist without feelings. There's actually some really amazing psychological studies done on how emotion helps you to have logic and how you literally cannot make logical decisions without the emotional part of your brain. Really fascinating stuff. But long story short, everybody has emotions. We need to operate through it. To operate in any area of life, you need to feel things. That's what I'm trying to say. You need to feel emotions. So it's not so much that this character doesn't feel emotions, it's that he's not allowing himself to feel certain emotions. Maybe because of trauma, maybe because of something that happened in the past, certain misbeliefs that he holds on to. So I would invite you to dig deeper into his misbeliefs and what are those emotions that he feels he's not allowed to feel or express. And that might unpack a whole new can of worms, as they say. Lots more conflict to explore. I have a character kind of like that I'm writing in my historical novel, and he's kind of apathetic, but he has a tragic past, and there's a lot of unaddressed issues, to say the least. Okay, one more question, and we're gonna go into our next part. What is your biggest tip for nailing character voice? That's a question from Jenna. I have several videos on this topic, and I did a podcast with my sister recently. Me and Kate did a podcast all about character voice. Definitely go watch that one. It's the most recent one on character voice. And it's really good because we show story examples and talk about the 3 main pillars of character voice. And those main pillars are backstory, personality, and what was the third one? Beliefs. Backstory, personality, and beliefs. Those are the things that really shape your character's voice. And to me, the biggest thing that you really just need to do a lot is write a lot and practice a lot. And with this particular character that you're trying to nail their voice, just writing a lot from their perspective or even just their dialogue, keeping in mind their backstory, their personality, and their beliefs, these being like the 3 main pillars that shape who they are and therefore shape their voice. Keeping those things in mind will really help you to craft a unique voice for them and a consistent voice. So we say personality because it doesn't change. You know, a person's personality kind of doesn't change really over time, not that much. Our beliefs might change and our values might change, but our personality generally stays the same, and there's no right or wrong personality for that reason. So staying true to your character's personality is a big thing, very key to having consistent character voice. But honestly, it's just a matter of practice, time. Continue writing this character, and you will find one day it's like it just clicks. It's like magic. It's like, okay, I know this character. I am this character, and that's an exciting moment. Okay, I gotta stop talking. Stop talking, Abby. You need to finish this job. Let's get back into our next sprint. Okay, I'll answer more questions in the next break, but let's do our next sprint. I'm gonna set up my timer again, 25 minutes, and hopefully Rocket won't start screaming this time. I hope to go to my next rewrite portion. Okay, 25 minutes, let's go.
That is our timer for sprint number 2. Just finished. Yes, Rocket has amazing timing. It was like 3 minutes later, we wouldn't even need our timer. Just whenever Rocket screams, it's time to stop writing. Oh my goodness. Okay, hopefully you guys had a good sprint. Let me know. Tell me in the chat if you had a good sprint. I did. I probably wasn't as productive, but I kind of read back through what I just wrote and made sure that it fit right. And now I'm going into my second piece that I need to rewrite, which I probably will finish this piece, and then there's an earlier section that I need to go back to, actually with like some journal entries, and I need to add another journal entry. There's a section of this book where, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but there's a journal and there's journal entries, and I've been trying to supplement those to just make it a little bit more layered and meaningful. So yeah, a variety of things and 3 different point of views I'm jumping between as I add in these revised pieces, which is always jarring. So hopefully it turns out okay. Okay. We're going to answer a few more questions, and then we're going to get into our third sprint. Looks like you guys had a good session. Wonderful. Great job. Okay. Let's see. This is a question from, I'm probably not going to say your username right, but I'll try. Ninkei Pai. Do you ever feel like you have 2 or more really nice plot points, but you don't know what to put in the middle to connect them? How do you work around that? This is actually a question I get a lot. Like, you have point A and point B. What do you put in between? How do you write the middle of the book? My favorite way to find the stuff in between is to first figure out what are the
action reaction moments. So by that I mean, this is kind of the flow of all conflict. It's cause and effect. Something happens to the characters, and then the characters make a decision and react or respond. Okay, so that's kind of like the ebb and flow of every plot point, whether it's the inciting incident, the plot twist, the disaster moment, the climax, whatever moment you are at in the book. It's really a flow of something happens to the characters, and then the characters respond based on probably their misbeliefs, their fears, their goals. So that's kind of what you have with an inciting incident, okay? The inciting incident is an external thing usually that happens to the protagonist and pushes them outside their comfort zone. Now they have to make a choice, and that's the impossible choice or the first plot point. And that propels them into the next part of the book. And that's kind of your middle section, is the Act 2, if you want to think of it as 3-act story structure. Act 2 is like the middle. But your question isn't even pertaining to necessarily the whole arc of the book. Just you have 2 events, but you don't really know how they connect. What I would start asking yourself is, how are my characters going to react to the first event? So the first event happens. First, how do they react to it? And then do they make some dumb decisions based on the reaction, which then causes them more problems, or it's a mistake, or it ends up being not a good course of action, and then they have to reassess, reconvene, and make another decision, maybe respond to it, maybe change as a character. So there's all sorts of conflict that happens in between, because it's not just about things happening to the protagonist. We have this ebb and flow of something happens, I respond. Something happens, I react. And those responses and reactions are all based off of their emotional journey, where they are. Are they still living based on their misbelief and their fears? What kind of goals are they pursuing? So there's a lot of conflict to explore there. And really, a lot of times it's just a matter of digging down and finding the conflict, unearthing the conflict. And maybe you even need more characters. Maybe you have a compelling flow of events happening with one character, but you feel like the story could support more. Maybe you need some more supporting characters, and they can be simultaneously experiencing the plot with this first character and having their own journeys in addition. Just something to think about. Hopefully that helps. Okay. This is a question from this is a question from Emily Day. My book is estimated to be around 40 to 50,000 words, and most of it is written about one-day experience. Is that all right? That's absolutely fine if that's the timeline of your book, if everything happens in one day. I've definitely seen that done before. I've actually done that. I've done that myself. I wrote a book several years ago that took place, I think, over the course of 1 or 2 days, and it was like 50,000 words. It was less than 50,000 words. It was a short book, but I felt like I told the story I needed to tell. Someday I will probably revise that book, because it was pretty clever. So yeah, it's just a matter of, do you feel like you told a story you needed to tell? This question is from Matthew. How do you get back into writing after so much time apart? It's difficult sometimes. I know it's hard to get out of a writing slump. I would recommend writing something that really is just very appealing to you, even if it's not something that you're intending on sharing with anyone or publishing. Just like, what's the most fun, self-indulgent thing you could possibly write, even if it's fan fiction. And the point of this is to make writing fun, make writing an experience of playing in the playground of a writing project. Okay, that's the only goal. Make that the only goal. And when you have other goals stacked on top of that, like it needs to be good, it needs to read well. It needs to be shared with others. It needs to be published one day. I need to take this seriously. When you put all those expectations on yourself, it can be difficult to get out of the writing slump because it's so much more of a challenge. It's so much more to think about. But if you're just thinking about having fun, just have a fun experience playing with this story. That I find that's my go-to. And maybe try writing in a way that is not like you. Like maybe you are a plotter, maybe you're an intense outliner. Try being a pantser for a day. Try writing something just based off of a thought, an idea, just anything. Just write something short, flash fiction, a scene, a short story. Don't plan it. Don't outline it. Just fly by the seat of your pants, see what happens. Or vice versa. Maybe you're a pantser and you just are not having that spontaneous, daring, adventurous feeling towards your writing. Maybe try outlining something and then seeing if you love it and feel passionate about it, return to it enough to pursue it and try writing it from a more of an outlining perspective. So yeah, try something new, try something fun, make it interesting. I also have a video on getting out of a writing slump, which is quite a good video too. Okay, I'm gonna answer one more question and then we are going to get into our third writing sprint. Let's see. Whoops. My chat is not loading right. Okay. Question from Anahi. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. Hi, Abby. I don't know how to write a fight scene. I'm out of ideas for my climax. Should I research or read other fight scenes and climaxes? Any suggestions? Fight scenes are very fun. I love writing fight scenes. I have a couple videos on fight scenes. I made one a long time ago, but me and Kate have made a podcast since then all about writing fight scenes. Definitely check that out. Kate and Abby Show Fight Scenes. If you type that into YouTube, you will see it. And that's a really good podcast all about writing fight scenes and making them engaging and fast-paced and just helping your reader to see it like a movie, basically. So they can be fun. They can take some practice to get them flowing smoothly. But I would recommend not necessarily like reading other fight scenes to get yourself like some ideas, but just kind of basing it off of digging deeper into your characters, what actually needs to be accomplished here. Because a lot of times when you go into writing a fight scene or a battle scene, you can get kind of caught up and swept away in the action and the flashiness of everything and forget about why it matters. So try to stick with why it matters. What is the very clear objective of each character? What is their clear goals going into this fight? Like, what are they hoping to achieve? Is it a premeditated fight or is it just something spontaneous? If so, why? What is the end game, basically? That's number one most important thing for any fight or battle. There has to be that objective, that clear goal of at the finish line, if I win this fight or win this battle, I get what? So keeping that as like the focus of the fight scene will help to have that sense of like urgency and meaning really to the fight. And then we're so much more engaged now because it ties to this character's goals and ultimately their mission in the story, right? So that's important. But if you want to get more into the nitty gritty of like actually writing the fight scenes, definitely check out that podcast I mentioned is very good on that topic. Okay, let's get into our third and final writing sprint. Thank you guys so much for the questions. I hope my answers have helped. I'm going to set up my timer again and hopefully get this final piece written because I really want to be able to finish this. Okay, so let's get the timers going and I will talk to you then. Good luck.
Boom, that's it. Sprint number 3 is finished. Wow, it went super fast this time. This whole writing session went super fast. Waiting for the dog. I know. Me too. He's finally quiet. That means he probably had his snack and now he's sleeping. So, okay, guys, let me know how it went. How did your third writing sprint go? Hopefully, it went well. Mine went well. I finished that second scene and now I'm trying to add another journal entry to the earlier chapter, but not sure what it's going to be yet. So I was just kind of adding some more description of my character who's reading the journal. So yeah, got a little bit sidetracked with that, but it's all good. So looks like you guys had a good sprint. Wonderful, awesome, fantastic. Okay, looks like you guys had a really productive time. Some writers have written more than others, and that's okay. It's not a competition. So if you feel like, oh, I should have written more, don't feel that way. Just be glad that you showed up for yourself. You showed up for your creativity. You spent some time writing. I didn't write much at all, but it was a slower process because I was finding these very specific areas to insert a little bit more, and sometimes it's just those fine details that make a difference in the end. So even if you only wrote a little bit, you have no idea how much value it added to your story. That's always a good thing to keep in mind. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me for this writing session today. I'm so glad that you could join me. It's been a wonderful session with you guys. I always love getting together and writing together. It's so much fun. And if you like doing these writing sprints and chatting with all the other writers in the community and hanging out here with us, you'll probably love the Discord community, which I forgot to mention earlier because I wasn't hosting the sprints in Discord this time. But there are sprints that happen in Discord all the time among the members in Discord, and that's the Patreon community. So anyone, any tier of the Patreon community has access to the Discord server. It's a private server where all of the patrons of the Writer's Life Wednesday community go and hang out and chat about their stories, and it's just a really fun place. And I'm in there quite often talking with you guys and sharing progress updates, sharing new videos, and just hanging out with you guys. It's so much fun. So if you are interested in joining the Discord, you can find that at patreon.com/Abby Emmons. Patreon.com/Abby Emmons. And any tier gets into the Patreon or the Discord community. So join at any level, you'll get access to the Discord and be able to hang out there. So I hope to see you guys over there as well. And also don't forget to check out Kate's Etsy shop that I mentioned earlier at the start of this live stream. She's making these beautiful writing candles. They're all different themes. They are all different flavors with essential oils and crystals and herbs, and they smell amazing. I didn't get to light this one today, but I wanted to just show you guys how beautiful it is. And she has all kinds of amazing handmade products on her Etsy shop, and the link to that is below this video. So as soon as we finish here, I want you to go to her shop, show her some love. She's my sister, she's my partner in crime, my best friend, and we're writing a book series together, so stay tuned for information about that. And in the meantime, listen to our podcast, subscribe to this channel, keep updated with all of the amazing content still to come. I'm so excited to share it all with you guys and to share this book with you guys. Oh, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be so much fun. Okay, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for sharing your time and your energy with me and for writing with me today. I had so much fun, and I hope to see you in the next one. Until then, my friend, rock on.